Joao is pretty much 44 years old. Now, he's been at the sanctuary for 2 years. Most of his life he spent at the Maputo Zoo in Mozambique. At the sanctuary, the whole concept was to get him here, to give him about 8 years of a life close to what he would have had in the wild. And so we've seen some tremendous development with Joao. Initially, when he arrived, he was so scared of other chimps that he just wanted to be with humans. He would jump the fence just to be with us. So what happened was I went in with Joao in the beginning and made him feel comfortable with the other chimps. He didn't want to jump the fence because I was there. And eventually he became the alpha male, and it makes us really proud to see that it was possible to get him to be accepted by other chimps and that he could accept other chimps as well. Things that are unique about Joao that you can't always pick up, and that I pick up firsthand whilst being with him inside the enclosure, is the fact that he's got such a focused mind. He would stare me straight in the eyes, and when I taught him tool use, he was very focused and he picked up really quickly on tool use. And it was only a few days where he didn't need me anymore and he could do it all by himself. So that focused, clear visioned mind is what comes to my mind when I think about how unique Joao is. My favorite Joao story has to be the first 2 weeks that he spent inside the infant enclosure. He didn't want to go inside because he was worried that we might lock him up again. So the one morning I went inside, called him, he took me by the hand and led me to where he built a nest for the previous night. And he had a little newspaper there and a little bottle of water, and I don't know where he got that, but it was a very touching moment that he would take me by the hand, lead me to this nest that he built just to show me, this is my pad, this is where I slept last night. A lot of people ask me if things played out exactly as it did with the pepper spray incident with Joao. And my answer is always the same. We don't lie in this series. I mean, there's camera guys present and they film it the way it is, and that is our deal with Animal Planet. They got to put it on and show everything that happens, whether it's good or bad. And so I was teaching Cozy, and Joao was above me in the tree. Everything was fine. Everything was normal up until that point. I think we were inside the enclosure for quite some time, up until 40 minutes, working with Cozy, and then it happened. I had no choice. I had to get out of the tree as quickly as possible, but he wouldn't let me go, and it was turning aggressive. You might not pick up on it completely that way, but this is the first-hand interpretation from both me and Philip, and especially me sitting in that tree when his hair was going up, his teeth were starting to show, and he was going to get that boot one way or the other. And then also the big problem was that I could possibly fall out of the tree and get seriously hurt because we were quite some distance up in the tree. I think my relationship with Joao has recovered almost 100% since the pepper spray incident. I've been able to go in with him and work with other members of the group for a full 6 months after the episode where everyone will see the pepper spray incident with Joao. But at this point where we are now, Joao won't let me come inside anymore because he's kind of like showing both signs to me and Philip that he wants to have the full access to the enclosure and that he doesn't need me any longer to work on members of the group. Whether that's because he doesn't want to share the attention that I get from the other infants, or whether he says that it's enough now, we're moving on as a family and that we're fine. Who knows what the reason is, but the fact of the matter is that I'm going to have to find different ways in the next few months to ensure the safety and security of those infants if they were to fall out of a tree or get bitten by a snake.